Hello. Tennessee just had a giant blast or explosion of a military explosive production facility building. And this is in the top news in the US. You can see here if you look at Google News and you sort on US, you will see that, oh, this is the top news. It was the top news yesterday. When I looked at least in yesterday, I'm in Europe here, and today in the top news is Tennessee explosives facility. And what can be done here is that we can look at the top news with the largest events happening, and we can see that, first of all, Tennessee, this event is resonating with keywords like explosion, military, and so on. But what I want to show is something connected, that 2 weeks prior to this, a nuclear facility or a nuclear tower was demolished, and we're going to look at that. And the whole point here is that 19 September, it's something like 2 weeks ago, in Tennessee Valley Authority they just demolished and what's happening, what you could say here, or what I need to say here about this is that some important things about Tennessee. Okay, so this is in Tennessee, just like the explosion that is in the top news with 19 people that can be assumed to be dead. So Tennessee Valley Authority has the largest government-owned nuclear operator in the US. Tennessee Valley Authority has the largest single nuclear reactor in the US. So Tennessee is significant when it comes to nuclear power in particular, and so suddenly, because of this interconnectivity, we do not only see the keyword of nuclear popping up, but also explosion and nuclear. And what I want you to think about now is the fact that I've been talking about this while other people hasn't. Why is it like that? Why is it almost no one here commenting when it's so obvious that there is a validity here in what I'm doing? It's so obvious, and it's strange, right? But so again, let me repeat what I just said. Let me repeat here. In the US, we have a top news of a giant blast in Tennessee, and this is yeah. And meanwhile, at the same time, 2 weeks prior, a giant or a big nuclear tower was demolished in Tennessee. So you have to remember, like, why am I talking about this? I mean, that I've been tracking the world stage. I've been doing a geopolitical analysis. I've been doing a symbolism analysis. Also, when it comes to, like, people, for whatever, people like to talk a bit about this movie Snake Eyes. I've showed you the dark shadows in Snake Eyes. I showed you that, connecting to the other news that we're seeing in Ukraine, for example, the blackout in Ukraine, the blackout of internet in Afghanistan. connecting to Iran. But here you see also that, okay, the biggest news in the US has some kind of interconnectivity to a large nuclear tower being destroyed in Tennessee, where Tennessee can be seen as significant when it comes to nuclear power, being the largest government-owned nuclear operator in the US and largest single nuclear reactor in the US. Keep in mind that everyone else are ignoring this just because it leads to me being right, and that's unfavorable. So you have a lot of decoders probably that will talk about this, or they will simply ignore it. I don't know. This is how it works. For whatever reason, I'm noticing this. So yeah, like this is what's in the news. The biggest news. And what am I going to say more? Oh, I don't know what's with my throat here. Oh, maybe it's my previous painting. It's starting to hurt in my throat now when I talk. No, but I'm kidding, guys. What am I going to talk about more? Yeah, like what am I going to talk about? Let's just look at that explosion one more time in Tennessee and think about it's the same thing. It's the same category of event. 2 weeks prior, largest involving the largest provider of government-owned nuclear energy, which is significant. It makes sense. All of this makes sense for whatever reason. It just makes sense. Okay, just something that you can notice. It just is like that. And let's look at that. Yeah. So what do you think about this? What do you think about this coincidence here? And also, like, if you just stumbled on my videos here, I've been talking about this for quite some time. It all started, there are many ways of looking at the same thing, many perspectives. So how did this start for me? It started with me making a drawing, right? I make a drawing. This is a channel of me I'm making a drawing, Oh no, you don't want it to start there, You want it to start with some kind of advanced analysis, right? Something that just makes sense. But it's like the sense here is coming later. Puzzle pieces are falling into place, and I presented many different perspectives, and when things make sense, it will become poetic. That's the kind of nightmare about this, is that there is a beauty in things like this also. There is a beauty in all sorts of things. So some kind of poetry here in the background, or reality, under the hood of all the rational logic and things like that. There is some kind of, maybe you could call it a soul, right? There's some kind of soul here. Yeah. And so things will, yeah, you know, I can explain this the way I see this, but it's, for me personally, it's not beneficial in any way to talk about why and how and so on at this stage, because it is not admitted what I do. And now we're here, right? We're talking. So go back to September 7th, and I uploaded a video of of a painting or a drawing that became the murder scene of Charlie Kirk, right? 3 days before, a video of Charlie Kirk, or that looks quite similar to that scene. And then September 16th, I did another drawing that is connected to these kind of things that I'm talking about now. I'm talking about Tennessee. I'm talking about what is happening in Tennessee in relation to explosions. Well, we have the explosion, the top news. This is the top news. This is supposed to make sense to anyone entering this video here. This makes sense. There's nothing that doesn't make sense here in what I'm saying right now. It's like I'm talking about top news, you know. It should be okay to do that, and people should be able to follow here what I'm doing. So, and the main point here of what I'm saying here is that 2 weeks prior you have a nuclear facility or a nuclear tower, a cooling tower being demolished, and this is, as I said, I'm repeating myself a bit. I'm sorry, but it's like I need to communicate. 2 weeks prior, a nuclear tower destroyed. Further enriching the keywords, the intensity of these things that are never talked about, the underlying things that for whatever reason it's only me talking about this, right? It seems so. I don't know, you know, it seems like that to me. And so when other decoders talk about this, they will probably not talk about this demolished tower in Tennessee, even if it makes a lot of sense. It's the same explosion. They will not talk about this because it will give credibility to me in what I do here. And so when you look at these other decoders, I'm not really a decoder, I'm just telling you what I'm saying. When you look at them, they will probably ignore this, I'm telling you, because it's not about truth. Truth is not the highest of virtue for these people. I believe so. It is more about popularity, earning money in some sense. I think so. And for me, it's something else. For me, it's just, oh, I'm communicating. Oh, that's awesome. That's all. Yeah, I mean, can it make more sense? I don't think I don't think that I can be clearer than this, you know. I've been talking about these things and why can you tell me why things are so perfect when it comes to this? Why is it so perfect? Why am I so confident in this? Why am I so confident? Why is it just working out, you know? Why is it everything just fitting, everything just uh, is like this? Why is it like that? Okay, a little parenthesis. You also have the second most wait here. Lolita James is in the top news. Um, she is also at the same time appealing ruling of Indian Point owners to dump nuclear waste into Hudson River. So Lolita James, so this is October 9th. I'll leave a link to it. Lolita James is Attorney General Lolita James will appeal in court ruling allowing the owners of the shuttered Indian Point nuclear facility to resume dumping radioactive wastewater into the Hudson River. Again, the same, like top news. Lolita James, what was it? Letitia, Letitia, okay. Letitia James appeal a court ruling allowing the owners of the shuttered Indian Point nuclear facility to resume dumping radioactive wastewater into Hudson River. So this is October 9th, you see? Yeah. So, you know, she is in the top news for something else, but at the same time, you have this news from October 9th, you see, connecting to dumping of nuclear. Again, the keyword nuclear is lighting up here. At the same time, and it just makes sense. All of this, it just makes sense, you know, guys. And I know that it's provoking, it's irritating, it's whatever, you know. I know it is like that, and I get it. I totally get it. And but at the same time, this is what I'm able to present to you. This is the information that you are given from me. Like I'm telling you something, and then there is this interconnectivity around that. And I've been showing that from many different perspectives. The world stage, the geopolitical situation in Iran. We looked at Ukraine, and much more. Also some deeper symbolism when it comes to this turning point, art in revolution connection, and which has origin in 1917. Socialist revolution in Russia, connecting to Red October, connecting to again nuclear again, back again to that, and so on. You see what I mean? I mean, there is so most people would like to think that okay, it is a randomness, you know, things are just random. And this is also how researchers think when you design a building, when you design anything in engineering, you assume that there is a sort of randomness which under some circumstances is false. This makes everything unsafe. You see, everything is unsafe because engineering is dimensioned from a sort of randomness that under certain circumstances is false. I don't know how to put it, okay? What I'm telling you is like you're seeing here what's happening. Why does it become like this, you know? Why is it why am I able to do a fairly good presentation about this, you know? So yeah, you know, so my answer to that, if you would ask me, why am I able to do a fairly good continuous presentation about this subject that makes sense because this is the top news? Why is that possible? And my answer to you is that there is some kind of poetic sense moral that allows itself to be expressed over the normal, how do you say, where everything just is a continuous machine working, doing a task. What is more important is this poetic expression of art and so on that allows itself to override everything. It's like that. When done in a certain way, you know, of course. It's not that yeah. Okay. So this it's almost like we're in this we're inside this story right now, almost like that. We're inside this fantasy right now, a fantasy of where it seems to be more possible with nuclear things, and so the news will have that in the background, and it's super clear in this case. As I said, Tennessee has the largest government-owned nuclear operator in the U.S., the largest single nuclear reactor in the U.S. And 2 weeks prior to the giant explosion, which is in the top news, you have the explosion demolition of the nuclear tower of this significant place when it comes to nuclear energy. And you know, it's just perfect. I don't know what to say, you know. I mean, and in actuality, what I'm telling you here should just spread, and it should be talked about, but that's not really going to happen. For whatever reason, this is going to stay silent, and for whatever reason, people that are supposed to be honest with you will not talk about this. They will not do that. Right? Okay. See you guys.